Yeah, we are live.
What's up, guys? It's your boy James, aka 68J, coming to you on this incredible Saturday with some incredible people. I got my brother Edo Farina along with Nick in the house. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Very
Good,
late for
brother.
us here in Greece, but we are doing great. Yeah.
Guys, appreciate you guys being here. Another incredible episode of The Standard. And we've got a lot of other things that's coming up with Versan. But today we have a special guest, Nick and Edo. Why don't you let everybody know how you met Nick, who Nick is, and why we're excited to have this brother on the platform?
Yeah. First and foremost, he is connected to Versan, so we very often have Versan here on the house. For some technical issues, Versan is not able to join us today. However, he'll be back here probably tomorrow, Monday, and also Thursdays. Anyways, guys, it's something very special because I got to meet in person Nico. He just sent me a DM on my X account, and that was very interesting because I had no idea who he actually was. He just mentioned that he know me from the videos from actually Versan, and whenever he saw about Versan, I just say, okay, we gotta meet. We went for a coffee, and I just got to meet this guy. So he has a lot of knowledge in crypto. He has chosen to stay anonymous for the last couple of months or years. I don't know how long he has been around on X, but I think we're gonna have a great conversation about XRP. So Nikos, why don't you just give a quick introduction about yourself, buddy?
Well, I'm originally from Toronto, Canada. I came to Greece for a few months, and I've been in crypto for about a year. I've been researching about ISO coins, the politics surrounding the new financial system, and I've been heavily invested in researching into it. So, and I've made some investments. So
Yeah, we had a
it's what I do now with my time.
we have a long conversation today about all the situation in Canada, the crazy politicians, and I think since 2019, Canada, at least I have never been to Canada, but that's what I hear every time I talk to someone from Canada is that the people are very unhappy with the situation. That not only from an economical perspective, but I think also about individual freedom from individuals. That's what I meant. So I think that there is an overall restriction of freedom there. I think maybe you want to do some comments on that, Nikos. You are from Canada, you know better than me how the situation is actually
Right.
there.
Yeah, I think the globalist agenda is pervasive, but I think it's generally in the G20 countries. Obviously, we saw what happened with the truckers and the recent ruling that it was, a violation of the charter. But I think everyone's feeling the effects of the economic suffocation being induced on the population, the rising cost of living, the decline of the culture, etc. That continues to suffocate and eventually eradicate, the middle class, which is what we're experiencing right now.
Yeah, that's definitely happening in every place around the world. It's just that in some places it seems that it's happening quite faster than the others, and I think Canada is definitely the case of a country that
Well,
is
New
like
Zealand, Canada, and the UK, I think, are pilot countries for Agenda 21.
yeah, I think it's like on steroids. These countries, at least in Europe, I think the situation. I mean, economically talking, yes, it's definitely bad. It's a lot of inflation, but at least the freedom of individuals has not been so much limited, and that's how I feel right now in Greece. And I think you share the same view as I do. I think we still have quite a lot of freedom here, a lot of freedom of choice, and lots of ways to kind of go around the system. So yeah, I think it's great that we are having this conversation here. I have been talking to James about inflation in America, and guys, please let me know here in the comments what you think about some comments of Joe Biden about the economical situation in the United States. I have a feeling that what the president says is happening is quite different from the reality of the country. Maybe I am wrong. I am from Italy. I am in Greece right now, but I have this feeling that the president is not being transparent about the economical situation of the United States. Whenever I talk to Americans, I heard the same: is that inflation is going up. hear about the national salaries going up. I just hear about the life cost is getting more and more expensive. Maybe James can complement this for us.
And what was the question, Edo? I just finished posting.
Yeah, don't worry, but we were talking about the cost of living in the United States. Do you feel like it's going down, or do you feel like it's actually increasing? I mean, the president has been saying some controversial stuff. He has just been saying that the economic situation is under control. There's actually a tweet from Joe Biden like 2 weeks ago. Do you really think the economic situation is under control?
I absolutely do not. And I think I think that's going to be part of the possible retracement. You know, a lot of people are super bullish because you see like NVIDIA and certain stocks that are going up right now. Obviously, we see crypto kind of capitulating sideways, but still at a very good level. But I think, you know, when you're invested in any asset, crypto or otherwise, you have to look at everything that's going around, even outside of crypto. A lot of people kind of, you know, they invest and they pay attention this way. So I'm focused on whatever I'm focused on, but they don't look at what's going on in their country or around the world. And I think you have to pay attention, like Evergrande in China, you know, $300 billion that has to be liquidated. And then there's another country out there. You look at the real estate crisis that's out there right now. All builders have ceased as far as further in their building, and they're losing a lot of money. Bankruptcies at an all-time high, specifically in China and other countries. In those liquidations, guess who's very connected to those liquidations? Tether. Yet you see postings of Tether printing a fresh $1 billion. So I've always said that, number one, I think that you know, not only will the way that the economy is right now is going to be play its part, but also I think Tether will be part of that downfall as well. So, you know, going back to the direct question as far as people, look, man, they said the average car payment right now is $600-700. People can't afford it. The average household right now of people who financed their homes in the last probably 12 to 24 months is probably about $3,500. People can't afford it. I think when you look at the cost of food, the cost of groceries, we were just having this conversation with some friends the other day, is almost just as, you know, it's the same price to go out to eat than it is to try to buy groceries, you know, for the week. So it's just crazy, man. I think we definitely have to pay attention to those things. And I think it's definitely going to take its toll on everything as a whole. And that will bleed into, you know, our investments, how it affects our investments.
How do you see the inflation in Canada as well? Is going up, or is just like the government says under control inflation? How is it going?
Well, the CPI index doesn't include, if I recall correctly, the cost of food and the cost of energy. And I think if those numbers are taken into consideration, the real number of inflation is well above 25%.
Wow.
That's at least my understanding. What costs $2 now costs $4 or $5. I mean, in my experience.
Wow, that's crazy.
And you know what? There's an illusion of liquidity in the market right now. That's why World War III is beginning.
Right.
That's exactly why there are crises that are giving reason for money printing to occur. And the money printing obviously goes into the U.S. Treasury bonds, it goes into the stock market, it goes into crypto, and it gives the illusion that the economy is stable. But this is simply a band-aid solution that when they print money, okay, you know, we might lower interest rates, at least temporarily, and there's an illusion that there's money flowing through the market, but in the long run, it causes hyperinflation. And the cost of living goes up, the cost of commodities goes up, the cost of crypto goes up, the cost of stocks goes up, but the median middle class income remains the same. So what you have is a hollowing out of the middle class and an illusion of stability. The rich are fine through this. It's the middle class that will be hollowed out and eventually made lower class. So.
Yeah, I see definitely the same pattern happening in Europe right now. We have cost of, especially real estate. I mean, it just became unaffordable for the majority of the population. You just have countries like Portugal. They are there with a national wage. The salaries are something around 700 euros. The average price of a property in the city center of Lisbon, which is the capital, is around 500,000 bucks. So it's just out of reach. for the majority of the population. And I gave this country as an example because I worked and I invested in real estate there, so I really do know about what's the situation. I'm from Italy. The situation is the same in Italy. It's the same in Spain. You just see there is a pattern. In every country is happening the same, and it's just the middle class. Middle class is getting absolutely devastated. Now, one thing that we can discuss in this live today is how do actually investors protect themselves from this huge crush that's happening towards the middle class. What do you think of that, James? If you want to start, diversification perhaps is the key.
I'll let Nick handle that one.
I think it's hard. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. You have debt at all-time highs. A lot of people are losing their assets. I think there's value in investing now in assets whose fair market value is not realized yet. Precious metals, digital assets, real estate, but it really depends on someone's situation and what they can afford. The best thing to do, it's not financial advice, but in my opinion, or in my life, you do not keep dollars. You keep what you need, and the rest goes towards those investments. So,
yeah, I'm pretty much with you on this one. I think the key now is to be diversified, but especially outside of fiat currencies. Right now, I'm holding very small amounts of euros, dollars, whatever it is. I'm highly invested in digital assets.
Right.
Highly invested in real estate right now. And well, we have been talking today afternoon about getting some commodities, getting some precious metals. We've just been talking about grabbing some copper, which I do believe there will be a copper shortage very soon. Gold, even though gold is a very expensive option, well, there is also silver. What else would you include on that list, James?
Well, it's kind of like Robert Kiyosaki says, the 5Gs, right? I don't know how you referred to Bitcoin, but it was like get Bitcoin, but I would say crypto, because I think getting Bitcoin right now is just too expensive, and I don't think it's the best investment for the potential right now. But let's say get crypto. As far as the G, I would say ground, which is real estate, gold, guns, and grub, which is food. I think those 5Gs that he's stated has always been my favorite 5, and I've been investing heavily in all. So I like what Iron Man says here in the chat. He says this has been the same game being played since the switch from the gold standard. Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree. I see some people here in the comments saying that gold only real money. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As they keep printing incredible amounts of money, I just seen the statistics another day that 80% of the US dollar has been printed in the last 36 months. That's just insane, So we just see that fiat currencies are becoming more and more obsolete. And I do believe that we have the greatest opportunity right now with digital assets. Now, we discussed about Bitcoin, and I have my view that the time to make life-changing gains with Bitcoin is over a long time ago. Yeah. I don't see any reason for the average investor out there to put $5,000, $10,000 in Bitcoin. Just think like right now, even if we go to above high, we go to 100K, you better do a 2x, unless you are a large hedge fund, that is managing millions of dollars, 100, 200 millions of dollars, trillions of dollars. Yeah. I don't see a lot of reasons to buy substantial amounts of Bitcoin. I think you can buy some, but it should not be the main coin of your portfolio. I don't hold any Bitcoin right now, by the way. And I would also include that a diversification on assets, especially assets that are on the XRP ledger and on Stellar blockchain. I do believe you have a great chance, especially if a Black Swan event involving Ethereum is around the corner. We could see a massive price appreciation for tokens issued on Stellar blockchain, on Core blockchain with XDC on the XRP ledger. I think Nikos is holding some, especially on Stellar blockchain. Maybe you want to give some thoughts about. I think you one today is called Aqua, right?
Yeah, there's Aqua, there's Velo, and then there's Aphrium, and they're being built on the Stellar blockchain. I think it's Velo, of which Jeff McCaleb is the advisor of. Aphrium is a project meant for bringing banking systems, digital banking systems to Africa to help, give everyone access to it globally. And of course, that's the project of Stellar, which is to give global access to the banking system. And it's interesting that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who's partnered with Ripple, has explicitly stated this as part of their project, right? Aqua, again, Aqua is a coin that is meant to help liquidity on the Stellar network. So it's helped to move liquidity, develop smart contracts, and move money through the system. Velo is it's supposedly supposed to be the stable coin for Asia. I'm not sure about that. But Velo, again, Velo, Aqua, AFR, they're low market cap coins. They've got a low tokenomics, so they don't have a huge circulating supply. And if these projects develop, and Stellar has, partnerships all over the world for retail payments, you're looking at 10x returns, 20x returns as a possibility, if not larger. But no one knows that, and no one can guarantee that.
Right.
But the Stellar network was built so that you can then build on top of this network protocols that help amplify the system.
Yeah.
So you could, like with SHX, if you put SHX last year, if you put about roughly $1,000 in the summer, and now that $1,000 would be roughly $20,000.
Yeah, yeah.
And it would be a bit higher, if you sold it,
Right.
at the peak at 1.5 cents. So they're high return investments.
Yeah, that's the
as a possibility.
And it's a sentence that I learned with James, that crypto actually allowed people to dream again.
That's right.
And that's actually the truth. It's just it's a real possibility for retail investors to make large sums of money in a short period of time. That's why I love blockchain technology. I think it's really here to sort of bring us the freedom that we always wanted. It's just up to us to do our own research, find the right technologies. I love to use the example of SHX Stronghold. You can't argue that the people who made a lot of money were just gambling in some token.
Right.
Just sit 20 minutes on your computer and you start to realize what are the partnerships of Stronghold, and you just go for their website and you just see board of directors. You see that is highly connected with Jed McCaleb. They have partnerships with Stellar. Ripple is investing in Stronghold. Whenever you start to connect the dots and you start to understand what Stronghold was about, and you just take this decision, I'm going to put $1,000 on SHX. You're making a financial decision based on fundamental research and not making a gamble. You're not just picking up the next meme coin that might get rugged. It's a legit project. And I think make a 20x, as you said, Nikos, it's something factual, something that I know people who made even more than a 20x because they were sitting on SHX since a couple of years ago. I got to know SHX just a couple of months ago that I actually did my own research. It was from a call with Versan. I sit on my computer, I research everything, and I say, I'm going to put some money on this because it's impossible, it's not going to go up. A couple of weeks later, SHX did already like 5x in a short period of time. I think you are with me on that, James, right?
Absolutely. I think, Nick said a couple great coins in Velo. I've been following and invested in Velo for some time. I think SHX could be an incredible gem as well. I think, where people have to be at now is just the realization that either you're going to be able to dream again or you're going to get caught up in the dream. And I think when you look at Bitcoin, obviously we all hear the stories of, your Da Vinci J's and these guys who've made billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars, and those times are gone. I mean, like you said, It took a special type of person. We all had $100, 13 years ago, I'm sure, no matter what your age is, or someone that you knew, you could figure out $100 and what that would have meant for your life today. I think the problem with most people is they're looking for microwavable results. They want something fast, quick. They're looking for the next Pepe, the next Shiba, the next this, the next that. And I think on the flip end of that, you've got all these influencers that are bulls, or to the point of like overly bullish on Bitcoin, which is, look, I hold Bitcoin. I've had Bitcoin. I've been dollar cost averaging in Bitcoin since good God, like $3,500 or something like that. So I'm not going to badmouth it, but I think that time has passed. I think, when you see some of these influencers that are sitting up saying, if you just got 0.1 Bitcoin and you hold it for the next 20 years, like, really? Are you stupid? Like, so you're trying to get people caught up in a dream, and you're trying to get people caught up in helping you live your dream. It's no different than when you work for someone and you're building their dream. Right now, if you're getting a Bitcoin, unless you're buying a whole lot, you're building someone else's dreams. They're hoping that you hold that long enough so they can dump on you. And so at the end of the day, you've got to be smarter than that and understand, okay, well, if I got enough money to buy 0.5 of a Bitcoin, I might have a better opportunity to put, to invest in something like a SHX, a Velo, a XLM, a XRP, whatever the case may be. But I definitely don't talk a lot about Bitcoin on my channel, because I just don't want people, because a lot of times what happens with people, and again, this is not financial advice, people, they feel less than, they feel inadequate. And I don't think a lot of influencers understand that, because you're telling them, oh, you should have, could, or you should do this. And it's like, dude, I can't afford that. And that's what makes people do irrational things, like take out loans and take out mortgages against their homes, because they realize they need a lot of money to follow what a lot of these idiotic influencers are saying. And I hate to say it, but I'm just speaking truth. And so when a person can just go out there and spend a little extra money and get a cool little bag of SHX for what, $100, a couple few $100 here and there. So that's one of the things, Edo, that motivated me to start my channel, Crypto for Life, is why me and you hooked up and connected the way we did, is because I shoot from the hip. My background as far as what I've done financially, business, professional as a basketball player, and even in crypto when I got in 2017, and how it changed me and my wife's life, and almost pretty much semi-retired us 4 years ago when we was traveling the world and doing the things we're doing. So this is all information that a lot of the people know. And I don't say that to impress anyone, but to impress upon you that if you want to be able to embrace this dream and really change everything in your life, you got to stop listening to those guys that are sitting out saying, go grab some Bitcoin. I just don't think that's the way. And I think people are going to sit around and just have a life full of regret because they're letting amazing gems pass them by, like your SHX, your Velos, your XL, and so forth. So that's my 2 Satoshis on the whole, or 2 cents in the whole equation.
You got to ask the question, why would CNBC, Fox News, the mainstream media is now pushing Bitcoin and Ethereum? And if the mainstream media is pushing Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's too late.
Facts. That's a great, yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's too late.
And here was so funny, Nick, not to cut you off. When you start seeing them push XRP, oh damn, it's gonna be too late.
I look forward to that day.
Exactly. Get you some XRP at $1,000. Like, oh my God. Yeah. At that point, yeah. The FOMO begins.
People, it's like a psychological game that people invest in, and they chase green candles. They invest when it's comfortable. They don't invest when no one's in it. And there's only 5% of the global population with digital assets.
Right.
And of those 5%, these small projects that are with IBM, they're with the World Bank, they're with the IMF, they're with mega multinational corporations and institutions. Of that 5%, very few are actually invested in those projects because they're quiet right now, and we're early. I think there's only 4.5 million XRP wallets on the planet, and I know many people have multiple wallets. Right.
And it's funny, Nick, because here's a better way of saying it. I hate saying what I just said about 1,000, because then people, James said it's gonna be. I think this is a better way to look at it. Is there's going to be levels of FOMO that come in certain ways, and I think the FOMO for XRP, the shock begins I think the shock begins at $5. I think the shock becomes at $5. I think $10, everyone starts. It's like there's a point when you've been in crypto long enough, there's this moment. It's kind of like when you go to a buffet and you're hungry and you get confused on what to eat because your eyes are bigger than your stomach. You're like, oh crap, what do I start? What do I start? And I think that's the thing that kills most people in crypto is when it like you're looking at it now, you're doubtful. Oh, look, but this is going fast. That's going fast. This is quick. And it's the whole turtle in the hair mindset. And then all of a sudden, what happens is $5 happen and you're regretful. $10 happen and you freeze up like a deer in the headlights. And all of a sudden you look up and you're looking at, before you know it, a $20 XRP, and you're like, no, wait, I'll just wait for the retracement, and it doesn't come. Just like a 5,000 Bitcoin probably won't happen again, or 10,000. And there's a lot of people who are waiting for that. Now, when that narrative played out back when FTX happened, hey, I was right there with everybody. I was like, look, if we could go from a $67,000 Bitcoin to a $15,000 Bitcoin, you don't think we can go from a $15,000 Bitcoin to a $10,000? Hey, I'm with you on that. It's possible, but this is shifted in a different direction. And there's so many people that sat there with money on the sidelines that are still sitting there. Still sitting there. And that's what SHX, that's what Velo, that's what VR. I mean, whatever the heck it is that, they're sitting there. And I think the same thing happens with XRP. So that's why we always talk about dollar cost average is your best, deal. I saw something on Twitter where someone says, if you sold all your XRP and got an SHX, you're a genius, like a few months ago or so. I don't think so. I think SHX is still an opportunity that, hey, a dollar changes lives. A dollar changes lives. So stop worrying about 0.003. That's over with. It's done. I'm not saying it's not going to happen again, but that's where people get so screwed up. I always say either you plan to fail or you fail to plan. So at the end, you plan, you have a plan or not, but a strategic plan is what people need, and stop getting caught up at looking what everyone else is doing or where the price was at. If someone comes in new and starts looking at a price of what something was 4 or 5 months ago, you're never going to win in this game. You're never going to win in this game. That's just the way it is.
Well, if people invested during the big market correction in January after the sell the news event with the Bitcoin ETF, you had H bar down to 6 cents. H bar is now 12 cents, or circulating around there. It's 10 to 12 cents. Right. Gaspo was 9 cents. It went up to 18 cents. But no one's going to buy, or at least most people won't buy those dumps because they get scared of losing money. But if they invest in those moments when they lose the money, let's say you put $10,000 into Gaspo when it was 9 cents, and then you just sold it now when it was 18 cents, you would have just made 10 grand in a matter of 3 weeks.
That's right.
But everyone's, caught up in the psychological game, which is the problem.
Right. I agree with you. And people need to learn how to look at things that have happened and help that determine what will be. So if I see an asset like Bitcoin that was $1 or less than $1 and where it's at today, what was, who was the guy who got into Bitcoin at $1 smart, or was he patient? That's the question. Was he smart or was he patient? And so because you could be smart at $1 and sell at 10, and I guess you could say smart or you could say stupid. Which one is it? Patience is the guy who really is a champion of that story. So when you look at crypto as a whole right now, I think it's just about having a plan and being patient. Because if Bitcoin could go from a penny to 50-something thousand, and we know what the potential is, you don't think XRP could do what it was created to do? I mean, created to do? Doge was created as a joke, and look at it. So I'm just saying, it's just, either you get it or you don't. And I think that comes with doing your own research and kind of like what you did and why you're here today. So.
And guys, not forget that the people who made more money in crypto usually are not the most skilled traders, are not even sometimes the founder of some projects, but rather people who bought crypto and forgot about the wallets. Did you ever thought about how many people actually, all these stories of people who bought Bitcoin long time ago, they even forgot about it, and a couple of years later they come on and they see this huge gain, something that would be impossible.
Here's an example of that, Edo. What was a company that it was that big scheme, and then all of a sudden now the company's starting to pay people back? It's not on the top of my
Mt. Gox.
What is it? Mt. Gox. Okay,
Mt. Gox.
Okay, so that's a great example. Okay, so everyone affected by Mt. Gox that got in and their money was held. Look, that might have been one of the worst, most horrific, greatest things that happened to all those people, because their emotions weren't. I'm just thinking about that. I mean, there's so many people that are going to walk away millionaires, and they had nothing to do with it. They were mad. They were frustrated. All they had to do, they were forced to wait. And some of these people are going to walk out with, I mean, just life-changing results because they couldn't control it. Could you imagine if you invested and you just force yourself not to touch it? Sometimes something like some type of horrific event like that, maybe you misplace your keys. That's probably a bad way to say it. But in that scenario where something happened and now they're getting paid out, it's probably one of the greatest opportunities for those people ever, because they didn't let them get in the way. They couldn't get in the way, because most of those people would have been gone a long time ago. I promise you that. Everyone's going to win in that scenario because they were forced to wait. And it wasn't the greatest story ever, but it's probably going to end up being that way once you start looking at how some of these people came out at the end. I would bet my money on that.
Yeah, I had a similar story. My story with Dogecoin, James. At some point in the peak of the bull run, I had 1.5 million sitting on my portfolio, and I couldn't access the funds.
Wow, that's crazy.
The people who made more money, sometimes they made accidentally. I never could expect that money would turn so much, and the fact I couldn't actually sell it before is that what it actually made it to go all the way through. Almost $1.5 million on my portfolio. That was a crazy story.
Right.
One day I can tell the full story about that. But
well,
anyway.
and it's like a lot of people are saying now. I saw a comment. Shouts out to all those that are here supporting us here with the Standard. But it's like somebody saying here, $10 XRP will change most people's lives. But and I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I also agree it's going to probably be one of the biggest regrets that people made, because again, they'll never. I mean, and it's like I said, what if Ripple? Okay, so for an example, Edo, I don't know if you know this, but on my show, I've been interviewing some amazing people, especially those who are being interviewed by Fruition Productions that's doing the documentary on ETHgate and the XRP story. And so, I've had Zach Rector on. I've got Lewis Jackson on this Thursday. I've got the people who actually, the company who's producing that documentary, they're going to be on my show Friday, the day after Lewis Jackson. And I just talked to Molly. I'm waiting for Molly with Valal Capital to confirm that she will come on the show as well. Now, I say all that because I'm really, I'm in this mode of just really connecting through relationship and getting all this stuff out. But the one thing I can tell you, if Valal Capital, who said a possibility of a $25,000 to $35,000 XRP by 2030, let's say they're 10% right. That's $2,500 to $3,500. Let's say they're 1% right. That's $250 to $350. Okay, screw them. Forget that. I mean, screw them, but forget that analogy or that price prediction. Let's go with Ripple itself. XRP, in order to work the way it has to globally, has to be at least $10,000. Okay, let's say they're 10% right, wrong. Or I'm sorry, 10% right. That's $1,000. Okay, let's say they're 1% right. That's $100. So my whole thing is, I think a lot of people are going to miss the 1% potential at $5 or $10, maybe $20. And so again, I think that's where people just have to have a solid plan, because I mean, $10 million isn't what it used to be back in the day. And again, that's not financial advice. I'm just saying people have to be smart. Everyone's going to have different levels. And I do agree with Brendan. Hell, a $10 XRP changes a lot of people's lives. $100,000 changes a lot. So I'm not trying to dismiss that. All I'm saying is you should have levels of where you're cashing out. You have strategic levels of where you're cashing out, and I wouldn't go all out at a certain dollar. Again, that's not financial advice, but man, I don't know what's greater, to get $10 or to live with a life full of regretment if it potentially hits 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 or anything else that they're saying. It'd be crazy. So I think between all of us here, the stocks of Pepto-Bismol are going to go up because you're going to have a lot of sick people that missed the boat. That's a joke. Anyways, okay. Go ahead, Edo.
I think Edo's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen? Yeah.
Look, the price discussion of XRP is like, it's just a matter of sheer mathematics.
Right.
If there's only 99.9 billion tokens and there's trillions that need to move through the network, I think David Schwartz has said this, or it was Brad. It can't be cheap. Just mathematically speaking, if they do what they say they're going to do, it can't be cheap, because a certain amount of money will need to flow through the network.
Well, it can't be cheap, but if it is cheap, then it can't work the way it's supposed to. So that's
exactly.
What makes sense. Yeah.
So
No, great. You know, while Edo is coming back on, let me send some shouts out to the group. Shouts out to Sam OMC in the house. Anthony Wanner, what's up, my brother? Brendan Dobbins in the house. Frankie Legends in the house. Bullish Bird, Your Luck. Fishing with Camo Joe. Crypto Navigator. Absolutely. I will ask Edo when he gets back on. Crypto Navigator, see if we can get him on. Baller Not One, my brother. Iron Man. What's up, my man? How you doing, brother? We've got Marvin Davis. We got Dave P in the house. Who else we got here? We've got let's see who else we got in this. Baller Not One. Mike Owens. What's up, Mike Owens? We appreciate you guys and your support in a major way, guys. Make sure you guys check out Edo Farina's X page, also his YouTube and everything that he's doing over there with Alpha Huskies. Also check out our Crypto for Life page. We go live 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each and every day. While Edo is off screen right now, I will go over and pull up. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. If you guys want to check out some of these incredible interviews that we've got going on, guys, go over to our Crypto for Life page, and you will see some of the interviews we've done with like Will Fix. We just had Zach Rector. We've got many others that's coming on. So, guys, go over support the Crypto for Life movement. And also, if you guys get a chance, this is streaming on all of our X pages as well. So Edo's back, and Edo, take it away. We did some sharing, some shots out to everybody in the stream, and shared our pages and stuff like that. So by all means, man, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, my MacBook was frozen, man. I had to actually switch browser for some reason. So I think you guys were talking about when I left, it was about the fair price of XRP, and that it cannot be, as David Schwartz says, cannot be very cheap.
That's right.
Well, not only XRP is a deflationary asset, meaning that every transaction burns 10 XRP drops per transaction, so meaning that the supply is just shrinking. But we also have to consider that there is around 50 billion XRP that is on escrow right now. I do have my opinions about the escrow, and I think the escrow holds the key of why XRP is set to revolutionize the financial system. So, in my opinion, the XRP that is in escrow is not even in possession of Ripple anymore. I think there are some key organizations that are in possession of the XRP in escrow, and that's what makes XRP so unique. That's also the key for why XRP is poised to be a world reserve currency. If you look for the definition of a world reserve currency, the first thing that comes to mind is held in substantial quantities by central banks. And who actually, more than XRP, matches this description? It's just like Ripple had this on their website for a long time ago. They had, due to some controversial stuff, they had to remove it. But XRP, since its inception, was designed to function as a world reserve currency. Now, one hot topic right now that, if you guys allow me to quickly do some comments about, is automated market makers. Today was actually a very, someone here says the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, own it. I totally agree with them. It's actually Brandon, and also the International Monetary Fund. And that's also tied to XRP price, has been already decided a long time ago. That's very controversial, by the way. So I'm going to touch briefly on automated market makers. Why? Because today we just reached 27 votes out of 28. So basically, we need 28 out of 35 on the XRP ledger to pass this amendment. That's going to be a huge development. I think it's going to be one of the best implementations that's going to happen on the history of the XRP ledger. Basically now, what is the AMMs? For anyone who is watching this video is wondering what is automated market makers. So we have trading pairs, just like you have Bitcoin against USDT, you have Bitcoin against Ethereum, you have Bitcoin against XRP. The same thing is happening for XRP. So basically with the AMMs, you're going to have providing your XRP to a liquidity pool where you're going to provide the trading pair. So for example, it's going to be XRP against Bitcoin, it's going to be XRP against many other assets. What is the implication of that is actually you can earn passive income. And I just want to clarify, a lot of people are going to thinking they're going to magically make money. Is not that simple. So that comes with a risk. the more the less liquidity there is to the assets that you are providing, the greater is the risk. So if you provide your XRP on a trading pair against Bitcoin, the API is not going to be so high as if you provide your XRP to some coin that has not the same liquidity or Bitcoin. So you're going to be having some risks associated with that. That being said, guys, don't put your entire bag on a liquidity pool.
That's
You
right.
have to be smart. You have to start with small quantities. Like maybe if you have, let's say, 10,000 XRP, maybe you want to start with 500 XRP, see what happens. Don't take too much risks, because the less liquidity there is in the pool, the more API you're going to get, but also more chances of getting liquidated.
That's
The
correct.
same way you can get liquidated when you're opening a short or a long position, the same can happen on the automated market maker. So be very aware. We don't have the implementation fully approved yet. We have to actually maintain consensus on the XRP ledger for a period of 2 weeks. So even if tomorrow you're going to hear the news, automated market makers are approved and some validator withdraws its yes position, it means that it goes back again, because it needs to reach consensus for over 2 weeks consistently. So basically nobody can withdraw the votes. And that means that at least until the implementation, from the time we reach 28 votes out of 35, it's going to take 2 weeks. So it can be around the corner, it cannot be around the corner. We don't really know when it's going to happen. But my main point here is for you guys to understand that it comes with risks.
Right.
You have to be fully understanding what you are doing before you actually just put your money, your XRP, on a liquidity pool.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I'm on the sidelines watching, listening. I'm excited only because I think it's bullish. The narrative in itself is bullish. No different than like if the talks with Brad Garlinghouse and XRP ETFs and all that stuff. Like, look, I think it brings attention to the asset. It's bullish. It's exciting. I personally don't know what my involvement will be with AMM and things like that, but it's bullish for the space. One of the things I brought up, Edo, that's sitting up here right now that I'd like to talk about as well. And thanks very much for that overview on AMM. I think that's huge. I think it's going to be super bullish. Is John Deaton. And I know it's something we haven't talked about on our show right now, the fact that he's running against Elizabeth Warren. One of the things that I just pulled up right now on the screen was a tweet that it says, "Let's rally behind Coinbase, Ripple, and other crypto companies to support John Deaton." And then there's a post from Mark Cuban. A lot of people know Mark Cuban from Shark Tank. A lot of people know Mark Cuban from owning the Dallas Mavericks and things like that. He went out and reposted John Deaton for senator. So I just think that that's really big. I don't think we cover that enough. I think it would be huge for not just XRP. Obviously, we know that John Deaton holds a very significant amount of XRP, and he represents the XRP army, the 75,000 and all those different things. But I think it's huge for the crypto space as a whole. You guys' thought on John Deaton against Elizabeth Warren and the fact that I think is just super bullish. What are your thoughts on that, Nick and Edo?
I'll let you go first, Edo.
Go ahead, Nico. Go ahead, man. You got to get your word out.
Look, I think it's bullish. I think John Deaton would do good. But I think the SEC, the level of corruption, the playing the same game on both sides that I think is going on. I don't think he will have much of an effect on when that will come to an end, when the lawsuit will come to an end, when there's going to be stablecoin regulation, when ETHgate will, see its review. Obviously, Elizabeth Warren's comments that crypto is used for money laundering and financing terrorism and so on is nonsense. Bitcoin, obviously has connections to MIT, and that involves the whole Epstein scandal, and it's been used by the same people who are talking about it as a tool for money laundering. I think we need stablecoin regulation, and John Deaton would support that. Obviously, Tether is not regulated by any metric of measurement. But I think the corruption is so strong that when they want it to go, and when they want those regulations to happen, and when they want there to be a recognition of XRP, for example, by the SEC as, something that's no longer problematic, they'll choose that.
Yeah, I think for me, it's I look at it from a different perspective. Him winning or not is irrelevant. It's no different than like with Trump having ETFs and Trump supporting Bitcoin and certain congressmen. It just validates the narrative that crypto is not a joke. Which is what most people thought years ago. It validates the narrative of crypto's real, is here to stay, and it's not going anywhere. The fact that you have someone that, regardless of his chance, it's the attention that it brings on the space, the fact that it has put. I saw Charles Gasparino on the show where he said he was asking questions on this news show. I can't remember the show it was on, and he was saying, "Man," he goes, "Elizabeth Warren really looks worried, and she's out there emailing everybody to donate money to help her against this John Deaton guy." Because see, here's the thing: when you're corrupted, when you're scandalous, when you've gotten away with all the things they're scared, they're worried, because that's how she makes money. And I think her fear may wake her up, may get some things shaking and moving, because what's the thing that she can do to try to get on the good side of this? Maybe change her tune a little bit. Maybe, I'm not saying what she'll do, but I'm just saying that you can't continue to be the dragon and expect to have good faith with voters and everybody else, because this does affect. This is not just some cult, some crypto cult. This is global. This is huge in the U.S. And so I just think the pressure that she's going to feel, if nothing else, just that and the attention that it brings to crypto is phenomenal. Regardless if he wins, I'm for him 100%, and I'm behind him. And I like the attention that he's bringing. He's got the Mark Cuban speaking. He's got the Charles Gasparino saying, "Hey, this guy's the real deal," or whatever the case may be. I just like that narrative, and I think it's healthy and good for crypto as a whole in its entirety.
I agree with you, James. I think it's extremely important for the ecosystem as a whole to have people like John Deaton. I don't say it's for XRP. I don't believe it will have any impact at all on XRP.
No.
But for the ecosystem as a whole, I think it's important to have people like John Deaton. I think it brings more awareness, and it just really proves the point that a lot of people outside of crypto has this idea that it's just some pump and dump scheme or something that's not going to here to stay, when actually crypto is just building its roots. Really, it's the foundation for the new financial system, and people just seem to not understand that. So whenever you have people like John Deaton participating actively on this space, I think is a huge benefit for the system as a whole.
Well, just like Donald Trump, people say, "Well, I own a picture, or whatever." The negative thought process against what's it called, NFTs. Okay, well, you could be as negative if you want, but guess who got NFTs? Trump has them. He supports them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the more you start seeing that, the more I think it's positive for the space as a whole. And I'm not just talking NFTs. I'm just talking about crypto, like you said, as a whole. All those stories are phenomenal. Although the fact that Ferrari or was it Lamborghini or Ferrari accepts Dogecoin, dude, that's beautiful. I don't care if you look, how many people are going to walk up to Ferrari or Lamborghini with a damn Doge? Hey, I got Doge. It's just great that they're. I mean, it's just the adoption and the awareness that it's bringing to the space. I think is phenomenal.
Well, James, I can tell you, if they unlock my funds from Cryptopia, where I have a Doge stock, I will be the first one that I will walk.
Hey, Edo, you would probably get millions of views, bro. If you took and you got that wallet and you unlocked that Doge and you went down the freaking Ferrari and bought a car, bro. Hey, I would fly to Greece, Athens, and be the video guy that tapes that. That would be freaking phenomenal, bro. That would break the internet. That would break the internet. That would be amazing.
No, we are making jokes, but there is some advances in the process right now. I have been exchanging some emails, and it seems that this story is going to come to an end in 2024. Either I will not receive anything, or if I receive, there is a chance it will end, and it's going to be in this year. So we're going to definitely see that.
Hey, brother, all I ask, maybe Nick wants to be there. I'll be the cameraman, because I think that'd be one hell of a story.
I hope so. And I'm going to spend all Dogecoin because I'm holding since like 7 years.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, gentlemen, I think we covered pretty much most of the topics we were supposed to cover today. Basically, talked about automated market makers, SHX, a bit about XRP price, a bit about inflation overall. So, any final thoughts that you would like to share with our audience today?
Nick, any final thoughts? I got one, but I can wait.
James, if you want to share the screen, maybe show your channel for people to subscribe to your channel and stuff like that, go ahead as well.
Well, here's the thing. For me, I think one of the things I'm really excited about right now is I'm on a mission to start really bringing a lot of awareness to some of these people that are really rocking and rolling. I don't know if you guys saw the video I did here the other day where I talked about my 10 favorite influencers. Edo, you were one of them. But I'm definitely, that's kind of like my goal for 2024, brother, is having these extraordinary interviews, letting people have a more personal connection with these people through my platform. And one of the things that I haven't been doing is creating short videos, which I'm now starting to have people say, hey, James, that's how you get out there more and so forth. So I'm really excited, man. It's just a great time to be in a space, a great time to be bullish and excited about crypto. And, I saw somebody in the comments saying they don't want you to own XRP. I don't think they want you to own anything. And again, this is about stealing dreams, guys. That's what this is all about. That's what this control is about. That's what Operation Choke Point 2.0 is about. It's about slavery, not as a race, but as a people. When you look around and you look at Argentina, you look at El Salvador, the way that they love their people. We just want a little love. We just want the truth. We want to be treated fairly, right? And I think that's what it's all about. Crypto in itself, the definition really, in my opinion, is allowing people to dream again. And that's why I'm so passionate about it the way I am. It's not just for myself. We've been blessed. We've been fortunate. But when I look up and I see all those extraordinary people that are out there that are looking for an opportunity to do more, have more, I think that's what crypto represents. And so I'm really excited to be a part of this opportunity. I'm really excited for Crypto for Life, and I'm excited to be connected with Edo, Varsan, and Nick in what we're doing here with the Standard.
Thank you, James. Nikos, what you would like to leave for our audience today? Final thoughts.
I think the important thing to realize is that there's the technology, and there's the project, and there's where's the world's going, and then there's the current market today. And the current price is irrelevant, in my view. Even if it's $0, it does not matter.
Yeah.
We're early to a world. You see Larry Fink at the World Economic Forum talking about the tokenization of assets.
Mm-hmm.
Tokenization on the blockchain of literally every asset on the planet is coming in the next 2 years.
Yep.
And you have the digitization on the blockchain of the whole financial system. So keeping that in mind when you're investing in XRP and you're seeing the partnerships or XDC or SHX or whatever, helps you have that, patience that otherwise it's hard to have when, you're like, oh, it hasn't gone up in a few months, or oh, it's only gone up this much, and so on. When you understand the actual utility of it in terms of the biggest financial institutions on the planet in the next 2 years, I think there you really get it. And then patience no longer becomes problematic.
That's correct. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. And as you said, tokenization of everything of value, and that includes collectible cars, that includes properties, real estate, commodities, gold, silver, even copper might be tokenized. So everything's going to be tokenized. The entire data that is on the internet is also going to be pulled and extracted onto the blockchain. So that's a huge possibility. And my last message for today is that for people, the last thing you want to focus is price. As Nico said, there is so much beyond for the price. You have to divide. You have the ecosystem. You have the people who are actually investing in crypto. Just people that have the same mindset of you. This live is a great example. I have James over here. I learned so much with James that goes even beyond crypto. Nikos, I got the opportunity to meet today in the same city. He's from Canada. He reached out for me. And I don't hesitate in meeting because I know it's a person that thinks like me. It's someone I can sit to have a coffee and we can discuss things that I cannot talk with 99% of the population, 99.9%. So it's just beyond crypto. Yeah. It's like the experience, it's the networking, it's the connections that you're going to make. it's everything. I mean, the price action, I think, is just the cherry on the top of the cake. So I think we have a great opportunity now. The prices are still very low, so even from this perspective, you have so much time to accumulate. I think even it's a great thing that XRP hasn't taken off yet as we expect. I think that's the best thing that ever happened. I think I'm learning a lot in this journey. I have been waiting for XRP to take off impatiently in the beginning, but then there has been a switch inside me that has actually said to me, maybe the fact that it hasn't taken off yet is the biggest blessing that you could ever experience, because that has allowed me to develop myself as a human being. I just learned how to master my patience. I just got to meet some of the greatest people I ever met, like James Versant. Today I had the opportunity to meet Nikos, and just so many people that it's still we're gonna meet along the journey. So that's my message today. And yeah, thank you everyone, and I'm gonna see you.
Let me add one more thing, Edo. Theo B. I'm not sure if this is my brother Theo Bernard, a good friend of mine, but he says at 68J, Costco has been selling gold. Do you see them offering Bitcoin to their members at some point? Here's an answer to that. And if you guys want to pick up on this, you can, or I can end it on this. And that is that I think when we have regulatory clarity, when we have regulations, I think, there may be a day, and again, this is not financial advice. There may be a day you walk into Walmart, or you walk into Costco, or you walk into one of these stores, and kind of like you have those gift cards, you might have a XRP card, or you might have a Bitcoin card where you can, have these, be able to buy XRP for someone on a gift card and load it up at your Walmart or at your Target or what. Because look, we got ATMs. I mean, hell, not everybody's even into cannabis, and you can go to certain places and you can see cannabis creams in stores and cannabis this and cannabis that. So do I think there will be one day that we walk into Costco and say, hey, or Walmart or Target and say, hey, can I get a card? I want to load it up with 1,000 XRP or 1,000, or so many Satoshis, because I think at that point Bitcoin is going to be too expensive to give away as a gift. Hell yeah, I think so. I think, like Nick said, at that time, when you get to that moment where Costco and Walmart and Target is doing that, and it's all over the internet, I think at that point you're probably a little bit too late. And you'll be lucky if you get a Satoshi or in XRP's smallest form. I can't remember what it's called. It's called a drops. And so you'll either be loading up drops or you'll be loading up Satoshis, but I promise you probably won't be loading up a full XRP by that time. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you guys being on the show. We had an incredible stream. To my brother Edo Farida, my brother Nick, my new brother Nick, appreciate you guys very much. Anything you guys want to add before we get up out of here, guys?
I think the important thing to realize is that everything's on sale right now.
That's right.
If you look at the all-time highs from the previous bull run, everything's on sale. Everything.
Absolutely. And by the way, I hope you guys don't mind. One of the greatest people I know on this planet, one of the most lovely people I know on this planet is in this stream, and that's my wife, Jeanette. Shouts out to my wife. Anyways, guys, I had to do that. Love you guys. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys in a bit.